What's going on, guys? Alex here, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the UP GTI. Now, this car hasn't been on the channel in quite a while. I think the last time it was when we fitted the Miltech exhaust to the back. But you guys seem to have enjoyed the Audi RSQ3 video from last week with the whole like living with, the review, running costs, all of that kind of stuff. So I thought, why not do it with another one of our long-term cars. So last time you would have seen this car, it would have been red. However, rightfully, my wife said there's like 4 to 5 little red cars on our road and she wanted it to stand out. So it's only taken 2 years, but I have wrapped it. I will put a video of when it's actually clean, because unfortunately all the jet washers today were taken or out of order, so I wasn't actually able to clean it beforehand. But yeah, it's a really nice color. Can't remember the exact name. It was one of the KPMF matte metallic ones, iced something or other, but basically it looks like a dark purpley black, and then in the sunlight, I don't know how well it'll pick up here, but yeah, it's got some purple and pink flake in it. But that is not the point of this video, so getting sidetracked as I always do. So like I mentioned, this is my wife's car. We've had it about 2 years now, so I think we've got a pretty good idea of what the car's like to live with. So for those that don't know, this is basically just a bog standard UP GTI minus the exhaust upgrades. Now what you get is the 1 litre 3-cylinder turbocharged engine pushing out a whopping 113 horsepower.
Oh my god! Wow!
But for what we need this car to be, it is perfect. So she's been using it, well, basically daily for these past 2 years. I say daily, like a couple times a week, as she doesn't need it to do much. So hence why we've got the little UP. So running costs wise, servicing, it's literally just had its major service. That came in at £400. Now, it does seem a bit expensive for what it is, but being a major service, it was oil, all the filters, so air filter, oil filter, cabin filter, all that stuff. It also had the brake fluid like cleared out and replenished, and all new spark plugs and a couple of other little bits and pieces. So that's why it's 400 quid. When you see it that way, it's actually not too sad. But yeah, it's a major one. The normal service, I think, is about £170 has been in the past for oil, all the filters, that kind of stuff. So on that respect, it's quite cheap, especially compared to the Audi. Now the other thing is obviously the road tax. Now that again comes in quite cheap, £180 a year, really can't complain. But obviously insurance, again, one of those things, it just varies from person to person. Now last month, we had to do 4 new tyres on this as well. Now it just went for some generic tyres because Charlotte only uses it for going to work and back, like the odd shopping trip. So nothing really too major. So four tyres, 250 quid. Really can't complain, because that's cheaper than 1 tyre for the Audi. So yeah, now running wise, this little car is absolutely fantastic and is cheap as chips. But I think we should hop on inside and go through some of the other stuff like MPG, you know, the boring stuff. So on the inside, you're greeted with this like lovely dash. You can see like the red of the original color all over inside. So that was the other thing, when we were trying to decide on a color, we wanted something that would still work with the red, because on these cars, there's just so much of the body color shown everywhere, as door cards aren't like on other cars where they completely cover everything. So that was the reasoning behind that color as well. But yeah, you've got all this, I don't even know what you would call the design, because it's not carbon, it's just pixely, I guess. But yeah, so average consumption, the car gets about 35 mpg, which just driving around town, I'd say that is really good. Now couple of like the extras with this. You got a sunroof, which apparently is quite a rare option, so we got quite lucky with that. But as you can see, dashboard wise, we don't really have all too much. So normally where you're presented with a big screen, you've only got this tiny little thing. Now I think the reasoning behind this is to like keep costs down and all of that. So what you can see is this phone mount here from VW. I think it's designed mainly to, well, obviously you put your phone up there, but there is a VW app for the car. So you get a lot of the driving data and telemetry on your phone. So rather than having it on here, because as you can see, you've got your rev counter, speedo and petrol, and that is it. The rest is all done via the app. The only thing you do have here is like I said, this tiny screen for your media, but if you go into reverse, you get this like the world's tiniest little reverse camera, like finger for scale. Like, don't have massive hands, so if do with that knowledge what you will, but that gives you a rough idea on size wise for that. But other than that, you've got like the usual GTI pattern. It's just a nice little place to be. Like I said, it's just meant to be like a little city car, not anything other than that. But what I think is, rather than sitting around here, we set up the GoPros and we go for a drive down the B roads and yeah, just talk more about this car and if it's any good. Let's head on out then. So like I mentioned, I see this more as a little city car rather than anything else. Now there's a couple of reasons for that. So we have done long journeys with this car. I've taken this all the way up to Birmingham fully loaded, like on a friend's stag do. So we were 3 people up in this with all like the suitcases, well I say suitcases, like all our bags and luggage to do the weekend, and done absolutely fine. There was absolutely nothing wrong with the car, more than capable. But the main issue, again, I'll just wait until we're past this sketchy little junction, but this is where the GTI part of the app comes in handy, because it may not be the quickest car in the world, but it does hold its own. So you just put your foot down, you get up to speed quite quick, so it's not too bad. But yeah, like I was saying, went all the way up to Birmingham, absolutely no problem with like carrying the people and all of their stuff. However, what was a slight problem, I guess, is on the motorways. It's such a small car that I just find people just don't see you, they just sort of cut you up, and yeah, it's just one of those. Unless you're driving a massive car or like a really bright and leery colour, then that's just bound to happen. So for those that have been watching the channel for ages, you'll know that we did used to have an Up many years ago, just a standard one, the 60 horsepower thing, bright blue. Charlotte absolutely loved it, and yeah, so that's why we've ended up with this again. So I say again, with the GTI, because I wanted another one, but there was no way we're just going to buy a base model one. So we managed to find this one, and I don't know if you remember, but I part exchanged my M4 competition for this. Now it was probably one of the strangest part exchanges ever, but you know, needs must and all that, and yeah, so there's the story of how we got that. But one thing that I do enjoy with this car is B roads like this. It is a more than capable car, and you can just enjoy it for what it is. It handles really well. Now I did mention like we put new tyres on. The standard ones are 195s, we went for 205s, as everyone on the forums recommends to upgrade to a slightly wider tyre. It just helps with potholes and all that stuff and just overall grip. And I must say, like, since changing the tyres, yeah, you do notice the low powered in comparison to like some of the other cars. Like, for example, the Audi is almost 4 times the power, but you can enjoy it like fully. What is this guy doing? Okay, sketchy. But yeah, like on roads like this, you can just drive flat out, and like there, you're just not even up at the speed limit yet. Doesn't help when you've got other people going a little bit slower, but yeah, you can just enjoy the car, drive it flat out, not break any laws, and it's just fantastic. Now, I keep mentioning about this being a city car, and I think like this could probably be like the perfect city car. Now, parking spaces, all of that kind of stuff, because it's so small, you can find that it'll fit into most gaps. Granted, throughout the years the cars have gotten bigger, so I started out in a Mark 6 Fiesta, and that was smaller than this, but they were different times. Like this, by today's standards, is a small car, but you put it next to the MX-5. If I remember, I'll put a photo up here of the MX-5 and this. I think I've got it like sandwiched between the Audi and this. Like, the MX-5 looks tight, like it makes this look massive, but that's just how times go. Like, small cars just get bigger. But now that's what I mean. Like, a lot of cars like don't see you, or they just like pull out on you, but because you've got like that little bit of power, like the turbo makes a massive difference. So driving the original up compared to this, night and day. Like the other one was just slow, sluggish. And granted, like you could get to motorway speeds eventually, but this just where you've got the turbo just helps you get there that little bit quicker. And like you can really feel like when it comes on, because it does just pull the car. But one of the reasons of the exhaust as well, you just wanted that little bit more noise. Like, it is a GTI after all, but it just didn't sound like it lived up to the badge. So we went for the Miltech Road Plus. That way it was still somewhat quiet, but you get like a bit more of a grunt. As again, it's Charlotte's daily. I didn't want to just straight pipe it so that she'd get a headache anytime she drove it. And yeah, when we do like long motorway journeys with this, you don't get the drone. Like I said, we went to Birmingham in it, and it was absolutely fine. No problems at motorway speeds. It was just quite a nice place to be. Now, there's not much in the way of like road noise insulation. I don't know if it's going to come across, but where the doors have got barely anything to it, getting a lot of noise coming in through here. But the worst bit for me is, for some reason, from the wing mirrors, you just get a lot of wind noise. Now, I don't know if there's like any mods to help like deflect the wind and then like minimize it, but certainly doing 70, you just hear this constant like pushing sound. Even like here at 60, you can just hear it everywhere. Now, I know again it's designed for mainly doing like town driving and all of that kind of stuff, so you wouldn't necessarily get to the speeds where the wind would be an issue, but I mean, this is just great. Like, you can just throw the car around the corners and it just goes, does it, not a problem. Just tell it where you want to go and the car's like, yep, not a problem, sir. Now, I would like to do more mods to this. Don't know what Charlotte would say about that, but if you guys want to see us do more stuff to this, I was thinking lowering springs, coilovers, more like engine mods, because I've seen people get a decent power out of these. Just stage 1 and stage 2 map, but you can get like the blow off valve kits, or like the air filters, all of that kind of stuff. So if you guys do want to see more like tinkering with the up, then yeah, just let me know down below in the comments, and I will see what we can do, or what we can convince Charlotte to let us do. But yeah, I think if we head back to our little area and wrap things up, but I do love this car. It is such a good little car. mine's more spacious, more practical and all that, but this was just more fun because, like I said, you can just go through the gears, just have fun, floor it, drive on the limit, and you're not breaking any laws because you're just not going fast enough. But yeah, let's get this all wrapped up and see what you guys think as well. So there we have it. There is the UP GTI. Now, obviously I'm going to be a bit biased, and yes, I'm going to say like this is probably one of the best city cars you can get like nowadays, for if you still want to be a petrol head but you only need it for going like to the shops or just like short journeys. And I think they're relatively cheap now. I mean, I think this was up for 18,000 when we bought it 2 years ago. I'm sure the prices have come down. Like, sure, I've seen these various clubs and whatnot for like somewhere between 10 and 13. So for what you're getting, like in this small little like rocket horseshoe powered roller skate, is that even words? Rocket powered roller skate is what I meant, not horseshoe. No idea where that came from, but guess it's staying in the video. But yeah, like I said, I'm probably going to be biased, but absolutely love these cars, and where we've been around them for so long, you can't not enjoy them. But let me know what you guys think. Like, what do you guys think are a similar level like town cars? And I'll see if I can get hold of any and try and do some like back-to-back comparisons. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you guys are enjoying like the more review style videos, let me know down below, as I've got a few cars lined up that I'm going to steal off with my friends and do reviews. So let me know if you want to see Bars TT, what it's like, and Bean Can Bill, as some of you may know him. He's got a twin turbo powered Cayman, so if you guys want to see me do a video on that, let me know, and I will drive down to his house, grab the keys, and take it out for a spin. So yeah, I'll let Jimmy take us out, but I'll catch you guys in the next video. Cheers.
Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and let us know what you want to see in the next video. Subscribe.